a boiler pressure test in a Tokyo workshop, then a violent rupture of steam and fire. He woke gasping, not in a hospital, but on straw matting in a soot-blackened smithy.
Where is this? My body feels different, stronger, but wrong.
Through a cracked window, a medieval capital crawled with horse-drawn carts and weary soldiers returning from a losing front.
Everything runs on muscle. No engines, no factories. They're fighting a war with horses and hope.
In his past life, Kazuki had rebuilt historic steam locomotives as a passion. Now that knowledge burned inside him. An old blacksmith worked nearby, Master Gregor, a man of iron and tradition. He held the key to the materials Kazu needed.
I could build a steam engine here, but if they suspect me of sorcery before it works, I am dead.
That night, using a charred stick on a scrap of leather, he drew the first diagram of a high-pressure steam engine.
This empire will learn the power of steam, even if I have to drag it forward with my bare hands.
For a week, Kazu worked by night, refining every detail of the engine in charcoal scratches.
Cylinder bore, piston seal, valve timing. I have it all in my head. Now I need brass and iron.
But one evening, Master Gregor caught him hunched over the forbidden diagrams.
What madness is this, boy? You draw demons and magic on my leather.
It's not magic. It's a machine that uses steam pressure to move a piston. It can pump water, pull loads.
Steam pressure? You'll blow yourself to the grave. Leather diagrams won't stop that.
He sees danger where I see the future. But I can't make him understand.
Gregor tossed the leather scrap back onto the table, unwilling to destroy the boy's work, but unwilling to believe.
Then I'll build it alone.
The design was ready. Now he needed an iron cylinder, a copper boiler, and a forge-hot will that wouldn't crack. Kazu traded his meager apprentice pay for scrap iron and a dented copper pot.
Copper can be reshaped. Iron can be cast. They don't understand the treasure they discard.
For nights, he hammered and sweat in the unused corner of the forge, shaping the cylinder. The boiler was a patchwork of soldered sheets, the pressure valve a hand-cut brass screw. When he first pumped the bellows and saw steam hiss through the seams, his heart raced. Then the valve gave way with a shriek of escaping steam and a crack that split the brass. The noise brought Gregor storming in at dawn. He stared at the hissing wreckage and the guilty apprentice.
I warned you. This ends now. You'll clear this madness out, or I'll throw you out with it.
Wait, the flaw is fixable, a stronger alloy. Give me 1 more week. If it fails, I'll abandon the forge forever.
1 week. And not a breath of this foolery leaves this shop. Now clean that mess.
Over a single night, Kazu melted the broken valve and recast it with a zinc-strengthened alloy. When he fired the boiler again, the piston slammed in rhythm. No cracks, no hiss of failure.
It holds. It actually holds. This is the first heartbeat of the new world.
Word reached a flooded iron mine on the capital's edge. A desperate foreman granted them a test. Hoses connected. Steam grew. Then a roar as water erupted from the shaft. Miners cheering. 3 mine owners, hoarding their parchment and fear, arrived to observe and to condemn. Ingenious, one muttered. But it will replace 100 pickmen. We'll have riots.
They fear losing laborers, more than losing a war. Their greed is a chain I can't break. If industry shuts its doors, I'll force them open through the army. The Empire needs a reason to believe.
The pump fell silent. Kazu stared at his engine, already plotting a machine that could haul cannons, not just water. After weeks of forging, a massive iron wagon sat in the smithy yard, smokestack gleaming.
No more horse-drawn supply lines. This will change war.
He convinced General Hartmann to inspect it. The one-eyed war minister with a taste for blood. Hartmann studied the model on the table, his disdain barely hidden.
A wagon that moves itself. Show me. And if it fails, you'll regret wasting my time.
On the proving ground, steam hissed, and the iron wheels crunched forward. Soldiers gasped. Then a front wheel struck a buried stone. The axle shattered, and the wagon lurched to a dead stop.
Your machine is a cripple. The enemy would skewer you while you repaired it.
Let me armor it. A fighting vehicle. I'll make it survive lance and arrow.
One final chance. Build a steam beast that fights. Fail, and you'll muck out stables forever.
Through sleepless nights, Kazu bolted iron plates onto the broken wagon, forging a steam-powered assault vehicle.
This time, the axle won't crack, and the enemy will taste steam and iron.
He named it the Rhino. General Hartman, skeptical but desperate, authorized a field test in a border skirmish. On the skirmish field, the Rhino lurched forward, steam cannon belching fire, scattering enemy scouts like chaff. But then, a hidden cavalry unit burst from a ravine, lances glinting, striking the vehicle's flank.
They flanked us. They knew exactly where we'd be.
A lance tip pierced the view slit, slashing Kazu's shoulder. Blood splattered the interior. The armor held. Kazu threw the throttle, and the Rhino bowled through the ambush, steam screaming.
The beast survives, but the enemy is learning. Now they'll want steam of their own.
I am bleeding, but the Rhino works. If the enemy wants a race, I'll give them one they can't finish.
In the war room, General Hartman stared at a map, pocked with red. Enemy advances had cut the supply line to nothing.
We've lost 2 supply columns this week. Horses can't outrun their ambushes anymore.
Then, stop using horses. My steam wagons can move artillery and infantry faster than any cavalry.
He placed a charcoal sketch of iron wagons, bristling with cannons, on the table.
And if they break down, I'll have a field of dead soldiers and hissing metal.
I'll ride the lead vehicle myself. If it breaks, I'll die with them.
The general held his gaze for a long silence. Then he slammed his fist on the table.
Assemble your Iron Corps. We march at dawn. May your engines be as stubborn as you are.
Through that night, Kazu welded and checked every valve, every joint, his bandaged shoulder throbbing.
Tomorrow, the Empire will see steam's truth, or I will be a pile of scrap.
At first light, the steam brigade rolled across the plain, wagons hauling cannons, the Rhino at the front. Enemy cavalry charged, but iron met hooves and steam drowned war cries.
Look at them break. Your machines just won the war, Kazu.
The battlefield became a graveyard of horses and shattered lances, the Empire victorious. That evening, Emperor Aldrich summoned the boy who built the future.
Forger of steam, you have saved my empire. Rise as commander of the Iron Corps.
A charter was pressed into his soot-stained hands, the Empire's seal hot on the parchment.
Iron Corps. I'll forge an army of steam, but something feels off.
Back in the workshop, he opened the chest where his civilian engine plans were kept. Empty.
Stolen. Someone sold my designs to the enemy. The race just became a war.
Kazu searched the workshop. The chest lock was shimmed with precision no common thief possessed.
Victor. Only he had the skill to bypass my lock. He always watched the engine tests too closely.
Kazu found him by the anvil, a packed satchel at his feet, ready to vanish.
You put the plans in that bag, Victor. You are selling my engine to our enemy.
They'll drown in their own horses, unless someone gives them a chance. You built a weapon. I just spread hope.
Victor's hand shook on the strap, but a desperate righteousness steadied his voice.
Hope. You've stolen a machine you don't understand. It'll kill them and start a war we can't stop.
But before Kazu could seize the satchel, Victor shoved him into the tool rack and bolted into the night. Kazu scrambled up, ignoring the bruise, and stared at the moonlit alley where Victor had vanished.
Let him run. That design was my civilian model. Low pressure, weak alloy. He gave them a copy that will crack.
Months later, across the border, Victor's stolen plans birthed a rival steam works, smoke and inferior alloy.
They build 3 for our every 2, but the prototypes shake under load. Maybe that doesn't matter in a race.
Kazu drilled the Iron Core through brutal maneuvers. Steam wagons straining under armor and speed.
Move like the pistons you serve. The enemy will bring my machines. You bring what they can't. Discipline.
A scout stumbled into camp, gasping of iron demons rolling under foreign banners near the border.
They've made them already. Then I have no advantage. Tell me how we win, Commander.
In the next border skirmish, Imperial Lancers met a rival steam wagon. Its cannon smashed their line, then shuddered.
It didn't explode. Victor's crew compensated. But the alloy's cracking. I can hear it.
At the War Council, Hartman demanded the truth. Kazu placed a metal sample on the table.
My military boilers use a high tensile alloy, manganese and carbon. Their copies lack it. Under sustained fire, they will crack.
The rival steam army crossed the border, an iron serpent of wagons and cannons, smoke blotting the sun. Their general addressed thousands from atop a hissing war engine, promising to crush the Empire in a week.
They have numbers. But if I reveal the full alloy now, they'll copy it within a year.
Commander, you say their machines will crack, but can your Iron Corps hold the line until that happens?
We should deploy every military engine. Smother them before they learn.
If they capture one military engine, they crack our alloy secret. We'll be equal again in months.
The Emperor stared at the map, his finger tracing the river where the decisive blow must land.
Use your best engines, but if any stall, blow them apart. Leave no alloy for their forges.
A deadly compromise. We'll bleed to keep the secret, but at least they'll taste real steam.
At dawn, the Iron Corps rolled out, canvas shrouds over their boilers, the secret alloy hidden beneath iron and steam. As the rival columns rolled, Victor climbed onto a hilltop, spyglass fixed on the Imperial Ridge. The Iron Corps was already there.
They're dug in like ticks, but why are their boilers covered in canvas?
He turned the glass on his own engines. Dark fluid trickled from a steam joint on the lead tank.
That seal is already failing. We haven't even engaged.
Victor sprinted to the rival commander's war wagon, waving his hands.
General, order a halt. The boilers need resealing. They'll rupture under battle heat.
The commander barely glanced at him. The advance is set. We outnumber them 3-1. Engines hold across the field. Kazu crouched beside the Rhino, his hand on the canvas shroud, sensing the enemy's movement.
Come closer. A few more miles, and we'll see which alloy is weaker.
The two armies closed to cannon range. Victor stood frozen on a supply cart, watching his creations steam toward their doom. Imperial steam cannons erupted, shot after shot, carving gaps in the rival infantry. Then, a massive iron tank pushed through the smoke.
There it is. Victor's pride on wheels.
The rival tank belched fire, a direct hit that punched through an Imperial wagon's armor. Soldiers screamed as shrapnel flew.
They have a steam cannon. Why hasn't it blown yet?
From his supply cart, Victor saw the hit. His heart leaped, then faltered as steam vented hard from every joint of his tank.
It's holding. Dear gods, it's still holding.
It's venting already. That engine won't last 10 more minutes.
He ordered the line to hold position. No direct counterfire against the rival tank. Let it burn its own boiler. The rival tank advanced, steam hissing louder, its cannon firing again and again not exploding. Imperial troops began to waver.
Your alloy myth is failing, Commander. That iron beast is tearing us apart.
Inside the rival tank, the boiler needle snapped past red. A seam split. Then the engine erupted in white fire. The explosion sheared the tank apart. Shrapnel rained. 2 more engines followed, their boilers detonating in a chain.
They're blowing themselves apart. Commander, you were right. A time bomb.
Finish them before they recover. All units, full steam.
Number. They're all dying. My engines. They never stood a chance.
The Rhino led the charge, iron cavalry pouring through the gap. Imperial cannons silenced the rival artillery.
No mercy. Let every broken boiler be a monument to their folly.
The rival army collapsed. Infantry threw down weapons. Steam wagons, now driverless, rolled into ditches and died.
Victory. But Victor's engines killed more of his own than ours. The cost of stolen pride.
By dusk, the field belonged to the Empire. The enemy's steam age had ended in a single afternoon of fire. Inside the Imperial command tent, a shattered boilerplate lay beside a gleaming alloy cube.
Commander, you said their engines would crack. Explain this. Trap you laid.
The plans Victor stole were my civilian design. Low pressure, weak alloy. I left them deliberately.
Let me take it? From the beginning, this was a cage, not a gift.
Kazu picked up the rival fragment, showing hairline cracks running through the inferior metal.
My military alloy contains manganese and carbon. Under sustained heat, theirs expands and fractures.
So you planted a defective seed, knowing they'd copy it and build an army of glass.
And they did. Every engine that killed our enemies also killed their own ambition.
The Emperor stared at the two metal pieces, then ordered Victor dragged deeper into the darkness.
Commander, you are the architect of our victory. The Empire will name this age after you. With this quill, I sign away the age of muscle. Let steam power every mine, forge and vessel in the Empire.
Every furnace will burn hotter, every wheel turn faster. The industrialized empire begins now. The first railway will run from capital to iron mines, 200 miles, 6 months.
Engineers stared at the impossible timeline, but Kazu's conviction silenced doubt. By week's end, steam cranes were laying track. The land itself seemed to tremble with change.
I died in a boiler's flash. Now, boilers are building the world I only dreamed of.
While tracks stretched over the plains, the keel of the first ironclad was laid at the shipyards.
In a decade, children will only know smoke and speed. This is not the end. It's merely the first spark. I see airships of steam in the sky.
The decree ignited a fire across the empire. The Industrial Revolution had found its prophet. A new sound tore through the empire, the rhythmic chuff of the first steam locomotive.
This is the sound I died for. Let it carry us forward.
The Imperial Dawn lurched forward, and the Empire moved at a speed no horse could match.
Months ago, we bled. Now you ride iron across my realm.
At the new shipyard, the ironclad Iron Will slid into the bay, its cannons gleaming with promise.
The sea itself will know our dominion. No fleet can stand against our steam.
Foreign envoys, arriving on horseback, stared at ironclad ships and steel rails. Their world was now obsolete.
They see it now. But no one sees the cost. The centuries of progress crushed into months. I've become a ghost who builds futures. One day, maybe someone will build one for me.
The world was catching its breath. The steam empire had arrived, and its pulse was iron. The rival empire, its pride in ashes, sent envoys to sue for peace. Emperor Aldrich received them on the deck of the Iron Will.
Your aggression ends today. We do not seek your obliteration, only your understanding.
Among the chained captives stood Victor, his dark eyes fixed on Kazu.
Victor's ambition nearly broke 2 empires, but his mind can still build.
The Emperor ordered Victor released into Kazu's custody. The chains fell in the shadow of the smokestacks.
You built engines that killed. Now you'll build engines that heal. Pumps, mills, railroads.
Why? I betrayed you.
Because I need every builder for the age ahead.
Flector took the outstretched hand. A new partnership was forged in steam and second chances. Peace settled over the continent, and the steam age began to heal the wounds of war. A decade turned the empire into a steam-powered utopia. Smokestacks rose where stables once stood.
Commander Kazu, you have forged an age. Let this metal mark the iron debt we owe.
From a soot-stained smithy to this. But the metal is heavy only with the past.
After the ceremony, Kazu led the Emperor to a private drafting chamber where a covered frame waited.
We have conquered land and sea. But look up. Your Majesty, the sky is the next frontier. This steam airship will lift cargo across the Empire in hours, not weeks, and remind the world we never stop.
You dream bigger than empires. I will clear the skies for you.
Clear the skies. That's the promise I've been chasing since the moment I woke in this body.
The airship blueprint hung in the chamber like a promise. The steam age was already reaching for the stars.
A new engine, a new challenge. The forge never really cools for me.
Dawn light spilled over the capital as Kazu climbed a lonely hill above the steam-filled skyline.
I died in a boiler flash. Now the world runs on steam because I refused to stop. Was it worth the cost?
He remembered the hiss of the first engine, Gregor's disbelief, the shriek of war's turning point.
The road was jagged. Betrayal, war, secrets. But the tracks are straight now.
He descended into the streets, merging with crowds. Children played with gear toys. Mothers bartered at steam-heated stalls.
They don't know my face, but they live in a world I forged. That's enough.
He paused before a monument in the square. A bronze casting of his first engine, the word genius engraved.
I built it not for a statue, but because the future wouldn't wait.
Back in his quiet workshop, the oil lamps still burned. Blueprints covered the walls, but one remained blank.
There will always be another engine, another horizon, and I'll be here at the drafting table until the last gear turns.
He left the drafting table and stepped back into the sunlit streets. The city hummed with steam. Children raced past with wooden gear toys whirring, mimicking the engines they'd grown up with. A small boy tugged at his coat, eyes wide with wonder.
I helped forge it, little one. But this city was built by thousands of hands.
The boy laughed and ran back to his friends, his tiny gear toy clicking. Kazu watched them go, the noise of the city, a symphony of hissing pistons and steel wheels.
This is the real monument, not a bronze statue, but a world that breathes steam.
Below, trains snaked through the valley. Ships puffed across the bay, and forges glowed orange in the twilight. In the central square, the bronze engine's pistons still stroked the air, a gift to the future. The gear of the age never stopped turning. It only waited for the next hand to push it forward. The map of the Empire was redrawn in iron, rail lines, forged cities, steam ports. A single locomotive could now cross the continent in 3 days. From the mines to the shipyards, the hiss of pistons became the Empire's true anthem. In the capital square, the bronze engine still stood, a promise to the future. The piston that first cracked in Gregor's smithy now powered a civilization. Kazu's blueprints covered entire warehouses, but his greatest design was the age itself. The age of iron and steam did not end with him. It only grew louder. Generations later, children still played with gear toys, not knowing the name of the man who gave them motion. But history remembered, and the gear turned, and turned, and turned. The horse-bound empire had become the iron engine of the world.